Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
Good morning. Happy Hump Day. Although it is 9/11. So we'll definitely talk about that here on this show. Good morning to you. Welcome to the JP Peterson Show. I'm Peter Blake. JP is out and about, so we're looking forward to hearing from him pretty soon here on a Happy Hump Day edition of this show. Definitely want to talk to you today about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and about their performance. Lots of things to talk about here on this show today as we get into it when it comes to not only the Bucs, but USF. As I mentioned, it is 9/11. It's hard to believe it's been 23 years since that event has happened. So we can definitely get memories of where you were at that point, because I know it is somewhat of an emotional day, if you will. But plenty of sports to talk about when it comes to this show. Plenty. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning in convincing fashion. I get it. It's just one game as they beat the Washington Commanders 37-20. Baker Mayfield showing out there with 4 touchdowns. Impressive. And, you know, all the shows that I host, whether it's this one, whether it's the Sports Web, it's okay to get a little bit excited about your Bucs winning. That's all right. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing. Even if it is the first game of the season. So we will talk to you Bucs fans out there about what you saw from this team. Who showed out besides a Baker Mayfield? We'll go back to that game, talk about the performances of the offense and the defense in case you missed it on the post-game edition of the Sports Web in collaboration with that show, live from Raymond James Stadium. We'll definitely take some phone calls today because we always do that here as I give out the number, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. It would be nice to come on here and just say that we're just going to be talking about the Bucs win, wouldn't it, fans? But that's exactly what we're not going to be just talking about today, because the Bucs have many injuries, especially with Antoine Winfield Jr. being out. What's the impact of that? Could be a couple weeks, could be 3 to 4 weeks. You're just not sure. So that's a little bit disappointing. I will say this, that it's good that it happens now. If there's any positive spin that I can provide on this issue, it's good that it happens now and it doesn't happen for the whole season, right? You get it out of the way now. But that back end is definitely beat up. And as I told you on the post-game show, I absolutely thought that they were going to call up Keenan Isaac, and sure enough, they call up Keenan Isaac. So lots of questions remain about this secondary, about this team going into a big matchup versus the Detroit Lions, which goes back to what? The scene in the crime last year. Can this team come out? Can this team overcome the injuries? They may have to have an offensive game plan this week to outscore this Lions team with Jared Goff and Amon St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, if I can get his name right. Montgomery shutting them down in the running game. So they got a challenge this week. So we'll definitely talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the injury situation. What did you see from that game on Sunday? Lots of things to get excited about. And then once again, lots of things to be disappointed in when it comes to the injury situation. But, injuries are a part of the National Football League. Not for long. It is a part of the league. It's disappointing to say the least. But again, the positive spin on that is that at least it's not for a year. Let me go out to this comment. Where's JP detained by Miami police? I mean, that has been the story. That's been also the story of the week, a very controversial one, if you will, if you like to get into that. I saw the cam footage on the Tyreek Hill situation. I definitely was disappointed. I think there's a lot of people disappointed out there from both sides of it, from both sides at the end of the day, right? Because Hill could have acted better when dealing with authorities. You hear he's speeding. Now it's not 120 miles an hour. Now it's 60 miles an hour. So you don't really know what the story is about the whole deal. Could he have acted better? Yeah, absolutely. We've all been in that situation where you get stopped by a police officer. And when they want you to do something, you most likely do it. You know why? Because you don't want to go to jail. Because you're fearing at that point. Could he have handled that better? Absolutely, he could have. Could the police handle that better? Absolutely, they could. And if you watch that video and you're not disappointed by the way they handled it, then I don't know what you're looking at. So both sides could have handled it. I thought they overreacted over a speeding ticket, over a traffic violation. Some people disagree with it. So we'll definitely get into that because that's a controversial subject. How about your USF Bulls playing Alabama for 3 quarters? We're here from Coach Golesh. We'll also have Leo Haggerty on at 10:30 from a Coach Scott and Now media member of Night Sports Productions and Amped Up Sports, giving you the USF rundown. We're going to have my professional handicapper extraordinaire of the sports web, Mr. Harry the Greek, coming on. We will have Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay, coming on. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get the man himself on his own show. Let's go out to Mr. JP Peterson. What's going on, boss? How you doing? And we got no sound. You got to love that. Let's see if we can get his sound going here. Hopefully we can, as we got him on. So we'll see if we can get him back on in just a moment. We'll go ahead and go back out to him in a moment. Are you there? Okay. So sometimes that happens. So we'll talk to Leo Haggerty about this, about the USF game. What did you think? Was it disappointing? Yeah, it was to a certain degree. But then again, you look at the score. I don't think that score is indicative of the kind of effort that USF put out there. They played them tough.
Turn microphone on.
Yes, there you go. It's always the simple things, my friend. JP Peterson, welcome to your show, of course.
Yes.
Hump Day edition. And then also a 9/11 edition, which I know is emotional to a certain degree to a lot of people out there, as it should. We could definitely talk about where you were, where a lot of people were at that point. The Bucks get a big time victory over the Commanders.
That was nice. That was nice.
We talked about that. Got some reels coming out with us.
Yeah, I got to find out about that. I got to find. We have to make sure that those are safe for work. So to speak. Yeah, hello, everybody. By the way, we're coming to you live from the Bayou Club in beautiful Largo, Florida, at the Patriot Day Golf Tournament. It's an annual outing here for Folds of Honor, which is a great charity that provides scholarships for children who have survived the casualties of war. Their parents, a mom or dad, killed in action or a casualty in action. And it's one of those great charities that is so needed and provides opportunities for children whose parents have given the ultimate sacrifice. And so many of them, on 9/11 or because of 9/11, that we honor those survivors and with scholarships. So it's a great charity. It's great to help these families out. I mean, who better to help out, right? If your mom or dad has gone off to war and does not return, what happens to the kids? What happens to the families? And this is where Folds of Honor comes in. So we're here today to raise money for that, for a golf tournament, but we're also here to talk sports, which we do each and every day. If you have some thoughts on where you were on that day, how sports affected it. I always remember, Peter, for me, and I say this about sports all the time, it can have such an impact on our society as a whole. I mean, you look at Jackie Robinson and breaking the color barrier. Sports has led the way on so many social issues and continues to. For better or for worse, politics has become a big part of sports now. And it's for worse for me. But where it shines its best post 9/11 is when we gathered as one at the stadiums, the great visuals of the players running out with the flag, the emotional, God, I'm getting chills and choked up even thinking about it, the emotional national anthems at that particular time. It's gut-wrenching at times, but it also tends to bring us together when we remember times of tragedy like this. And boy, is that needed in this country ever more than ever before, especially after the buffoonery of that debate that we saw last night. I mean, if that's the best America has to offer, we are complete trash at this point. I mean, the whole thing was, I don't even want to get into it today, but it's just further proof of how we have degraded as a nation on so many levels. Not being political. I mean, you take your pick on which one, take your pick of any of the three, the biased media, or either of the two candidates. Which
we could have moderated that better. We could have moderated that better last night. It was a 3-on-1. I mean, honestly,
it's ridiculous. But that's where American media is. I mean, just an absolute journalistic disaster.
Yeah.
There is no journalism anymore. It's all agenda driven. And I could just say that both candidates are less than our best. Let's just say that. But I'm a policy voter. People know where I am on that. I'm not a personality voter, and there are just things that are happening in this country that, freedom of speech being one of them, that are very much in danger, and that needs to be rectified. So no politics today. Well, that's our debate analysis. That's all you're getting today. So we can talk some sports and talk about 9/11 as well, in a way that moves everybody forward. All right. You're laughing. What did Rick say?
Well, no, Rick, this is what Rick had, and I was laughing about it. Where's JP detained by Miami?
I would not be detained by Miami police. You know why? Because I would say, yes, sir. No, sir. My hands would be a 10 and 2, and I would try to do my best to sugar talk my way out of that ticket. And I would not be taken out of the car because I would get out of the car.
I've done it.
Would not, yeah.
I mean, I've talked my way out of it. I talked about this on the Sports Web. People laughed at me when I said it, but I got stopped one time. I flip out my card. I say I'm the Rolex reporter. I do a sports talk show, and they gave me a warning. It is a true story. People think I'm lying about that, but it is true, and I do it anytime and every time somebody asks about it. Oh, you look familiar. Oh, well, I'm a sports broadcaster. I'm the Rolex reporter. I got a Rolex from Jake Paul. Oh, okay, good. Have a warning. I rolled down my window. I didn't get out of my car. I mean, but the whole situation in itself, also the way the police officers handle it, I just didn't like it. I thought it was too aggressive. I get it. They have a job to do, but there
could have been some de-escalation involved there. I think both parties were at fault.
Correct.
The people that are saying fire the cops are complete idiots. They know nothing about protocol in police. Everybody assumes that everybody knows who Tyreek Hill is. That's not, sorry, folks. And not everybody knows that. And I'm sorry if the police did they run his tags ahead of time? Do they know who he is? Doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to obey the commands of the police officers. There's a reason that they ask you to do what they do. The fact that you roll up your window, people are like, so what? He rolled up his window. You can't see his hands. You don't know if he's reaching for a gun. How many times have you seen videos of cops who do what seem like routine traffic stops? The next thing I know, somebody's popping out of the car with a gun shooting at them. That's so cops have to go into it with the worst case scenario in mind. And all you need to do is obey their commands and you get your ticket. If you wanted to get your ticket and move on, you say, yes, sir. No, sir. Here's my license and registration. I am late for my football game over here. If you don't mind, if you need to write me a ticket, please do so, and I'll be on my way. Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard? Instead of don't knock on my window, don't knock on my window, don't knock on my window, and then be disrespectful to the cop, and then roll up the window with your tinted windows. And then when they ask you to get out of the car 5 times, you don't get out of the car. What do you expect is going to happen? Oh, sorry, sir. Wherever you like to take your time, we'll be here waiting for you to get out of the car. No, that's not how it works, folks. But anyway, hopefully that situation resolves itself. All right, so we got to talk some Bucks today as well as they get set to take on the Lions. We'll hear from Todd Bowles today. We'll hear from Baker Mayfield today. Obviously, this is a tough assignment when you're going up there without Antoine Winfield Jr., without Bryce Hall. We don't know about Zion McCollum. We probably won't know until later in the week how severe his concussion is. He was ruled out rather quickly in the game. So, all you can do is, and we shouldn't speculate, but that's what we do, right? On these shows, we have to talk about what are the possibilities. We don't know. We have no idea. So hopefully but we won't know till Friday either. The best indication of whether these guys are going to play or not will be whether these guys, if the Bucks go and sign somebody. They signed Keenan Isaac, so that tells you that at least he's probably going to be replacing Bryce Hall, who's out for the year. So they'll go in there down at least one corner, and their best safety and Antoine Winfield Jr. That's not ideal when you're playing the Detroit Lions, who are absolutely explosive. So. The Bucks are going to have to outscore them. I think this is going to be maybe a more high-scoring game, and should be fun. Shootout in Detroit. Let's go. And the Bucks now have an offensive coordinator and the firepower to do it. So anything can happen in these games in the NFL. So I'll give the Bucks a puncher's chance to go up there and get a W. We'll see.
Yeah, and you talked about this, and we made a reel about it. We'll put it out there today here on all the social media sites about the offense and the differences, the motion, and you're just being prepared, game plan that was not to take it away from Dave Canales, but I don't know. It's just there's more. It seems like there's more prepared when it comes to offensive schemes, motion, matchups, getting guys in the right place at the right time, especially when it comes to Mike Evans. I mean, who is having him, at one-on-one coverage, and you expose that. That's exactly what this offense can do. And I guess that's my question for the day. Is where's your confidence level, Bucks fans, when it comes to this team going to Detroit? Because it may be an offensive shootout. Do you think the Bucks can score with the Lions? As we'll put that question out there. And, of course, what do you think about all the injuries at this point, especially when it comes to Winfield Jr., which, listen, that's disappointing. But I would say if there's anything to be optimistic about it, at least it's earlier on in the year. It's not in the middle or later part, because you're definitely going to need him with that gauntlet of a schedule in the middle part. And then on top of it, at least it's not a year injury where he's out for the entire year at the end of the day.
Now, I've heard, I haven't heard it come out of Bowles' mouth, but I've heard that it is a high ankle sprain. Mm-hmm. And all those are all about the severity, right? How bad is it? Because I think he tried to play on it for a little bit, was out on the hands team, I think, late in the game. So hopefully it's not severe, but those things can be, 2-3 weeks. They can also linger to 8-9 weeks. Same thing with Yaya. Yaya looked good in week 1. It didn't seem to bother him. So I think he's over his, but you can also always re-injure it. So hopefully, it's just a matter of severity and he can get back to playing. That's because he's a must-have. If you're going to do anything special this year, you need Antoine Winfield Jr. to be his special self and cause turnovers and wreak havoc and do what he does. He's such a special piece. He's a game changer. And if you're going to have a special season, you got to have dudes like that. So no question about it.
Yeah, and as crazy as it sounds, it happens the second to last play of the game. It's kind of like a Jordan Love situation. Happens the last play of the game, you get injured. So it's a part of it. It's the injuries are a part of the National Football League. You just have to deal with it.
Yep, everybody's got them. All right, we're going to take a break here, Peter, real quick, because we need to get a guest on the line. That's one of the sponsors of the tournament here, and he works with OAI, is a company that works with sports marketing with the Buccaneers, the Lightning, the Bulls, all these different teams. So we're going to talk some really high-level sports marketing stuff when we get back, and also talk a little bit about why we're out here at the Bayou Club. It's the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group. Our good friend Scott Jeeves will be joining us tomorrow to talk about the Florida State lawsuit and many other things, his Gators, and whether they can beat Texas A&M. So if you have any legal questions whatsoever, just take them to the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They'll give you a free case evaluation. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. It's the Jeeves Law Group. Back in 3 here to the Bayou Club in Largo on Patriot Day, as we honor Folds of Honor is our charity today. Back in 3. Celebrate August with the dazzling green hue of peridot, known for its vibrant and refreshing sparkle. Yes, that's the birthstone of August at the Gold and Diamond Source. Explore the Gold and Diamond Source's stunning collection of peridot jewelry, showcasing the gemstone's unique glow and versatility in rings, necklaces, and earrings. Peridot's distinctive color makes it a standout choice for any occasion, adding a touch of elegance and charm to your ensemble. Enjoy 15% off when you shop August Gems online only. Stop by the Gold and Diamond Source to experience the allure of August Gem and let their expert staff help you find the perfect peridot piece. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmsted Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the JP Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. They'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance. Make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or a golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes, like Capelli al Granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat. Our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
And shows we're coming to you live from the Bayou Club in beautiful Largo, Florida for the Patriot Day golf outing, sponsored by many great companies. But at the top of the list is Outdoor America Images. And the CEO of the OAI joins us right now, Chris Inverso, one of our great sponsors for this event. Good morning, Chris. How are you? And thank you very much for sponsoring this event and the money going to Folds of Honor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing fantastic. It's an honor to sponsor the event.
Yeah. Why is that important to your company?
You know, we have an approach that is both national in the sense that we can get to almost any market with speed and scale, and we're local. We have real relationships and real connections, and you can't do that unless you're at events like this, putting your money where your mouth is, but also having some personal representation and the relationships that go with it. And at the end of the day, everyone here cares. And when we put our heads on the pillow at night, it's nice to know that in addition to creating the value that we create through our core business, that we're also making a difference.
Wow. That's awesome to hear a CEO say that those things matter these days. It really is. So thank you. I thought those relationship things were long gone. But I appreciate what you guys are doing here today, and the folks representing here, the great Alex Job sitting to my left here, who will be representing and tearing up this golf course. And the superintendent will not be happy. Tell me a little bit about your company and the sports marketing efforts that you have within this market here in Tampa Bay. I know you work with the Lightning, who I work for, and also the Bucks and the Bulls as well. Let's start with the Buccaneers, since they are in season right now. And tell me a little bit about the sports marketing initiatives and what's new in your world.
Well, first, I want to congratulate the entire squad and the entire crew associated with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I was at the game in person on Sunday, and really nice to see that team come together and put together a solid game end to end and walk away with a victory from a tough team with a pretty good young quarterback. We've been partnering with and doing work for the Buccaneers for about a decade and a half. This year, we really took it to the next level by starting early with the Buccaneers and becoming an official partner of them. And so proud to say that we are the official branding partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Congratulations. Now, tell me a little bit about the initiatives that you're doing and how what fans will recognize and what's kind of the touch points of what you're working on. I'm always interested to see how this works at a very high level.
Yeah, and it was really fun to experience a lot of what I'm about to tell you in person and just go be a fan on Sunday. First, I'll tell you, I want to give a lot of kudos top to bottom. The Glazier family, Brian Ford, Coach Bowles, but all the different teams that work behind the scenes to make sure that the game days get pulled off on a Sunday or a Monday or a Thursday or heck, even a Friday nowadays. You never even know. Right. But it happens year round. It's not just during the season. And what we get as a partner is a bit of a view into the back end of that. And it's impressive. There's some fantastic people that, bleed Bucks red and or creamsicle, depending on the day, and all about it. But what I love is the intentionality behind the fan experience. It's one of the three themes that I've seen in sports right now. Is just an overall enhanced fan experience. You can't go anywhere in that stadium without having someone representing the Buccaneers or Raymond James Stadium, looking at you, asking if you need help, holding up a sign, which, by the way, we print those for them. And just end to end, making sure everything has an awesome fan experience. In Seattle, they call it fanification because we're also official partner of the Seahawks as well. I split my allegiances between both coasts, but I wear the appropriate colors depending on what region I'm in. What does it look like on a daily basis? Really, another trend that I've seen is that no monetization opportunity is left behind, but it's done in a tasteful way. And the NFL has been a leader in this. And actually, if you go back and if I can plug another podcast, the Acquired podcast is a fantastic one out of Seattle. Yeah. and they did a 4-hour episode on the NFL. Highly encourage anyone that's interested in sports marketing to read that. But the period of leadership that Pete Rozelle had from 1960 to kind of the late 80s, he really helped up the fan experience while also helping owners unlock the revenue potential that was in their space. And so what you see today in our partnership with the Buccaneers, kind of a roundabout way of answering your question, is almost every space is aesthetically pleasing to your eye, but it's also marketing either the Buccaneers brand or one of their core partners, and done in a tasteful way. And it can be done through any sort of flexible substrates. I mean, wrapping with pressure sensitive adhesive vinyl, dye-set fabric, metal wood fabrication, and then the amount of coordination, project management, and install to make that happen is unbelievable, which is why I'm so proud of our teams on a daily basis. But we've been working for probably the past 90 days, sun up to sundown, to get it all installed. And I think it was midnight on Saturday when we finished and put the final few touches on it before Sunday's game.
Well, the stadium looked awesome, and all the different partners that you have to represent. Here's an interesting question for you, because I know you work with the Bulls as well. How do you switch it all over? Like, you got to switch the color schemes and some things over in a rapid time frame to get some of the Bulls branding going as well. How does that work?
Well, it starts with a really good plan and an awesome project management team and really good installers that can just do it and make something that's very hard look almost boring, but it's not. I mean, it takes a lot of work. But the other part is being a long-term partner. I think it'd be hard to just come in there out of the blue, be the lowest bidder and try to figure that out. But doing this for a long, long time, I believe we still offer incredible value and competitive pricing, but we are invested as a partner. And so being there day in, day out, we can just come in there without even any extra thought and say, all right, we're going to execute our plan. One day on the Saturday, it's the Bulls, and on the Sunday, it's the Bucks, and hardly anyone notices the transformation.
Chris Inverso is joining us. He is the CEO of OAI. They do a lot of sports marketing with our local teams. When you talk about touching the fan experience and it being intentional, it's something that the Lightning talk about all the time. It's not just, hey, we're going to put on a hockey game or put on a football game and hopefully the fans enjoy it. What are some of those conversations like at the highest level? Like, how important is the fan experience to both of these organizations? Because I notice it at both games. You go to other stadiums and it's not even close. And it's not by accident, right? This is something that they're really trying to make it a great experience each and every time you come to a game.
I also don't want to miss another key professional sports franchise here in this market, and that's the Rays. And I'll throw them in this too. But I will tell you that the starting conversation, when you're asking at the highest levels, it really is all about the fan experience. It's what I hear coming off of people's lips. And it's how do we now engage our fans? And sometimes it's a specific group of employees within those sports franchises that are just based on live experiences. OAI, what can you build for us? Like a custom skee ball little exhibit that's wrapped and branded and that fans can play and have fun with while they're going in and out of the game. Or how do we now have a contest or an event and with a partner and print and bring that in? It all revolves around getting people from all ages, all demographics involved in that sport. And I got to tell you, there's something special about the Tampa Bay market. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on your podcast today. I travel all over the U.S., attend professional and college sporting events. And when I come to Tampa Bay, there's just a different feel, and it feels personal. Like being there on Sunday, you felt connected to the coaches and the players. It's something about the physical space. I mean, Ray J is a special place to play, but there's just something about that overall experience where you just feel connected. This community feels connected, and those franchises definitely just take that to the next level.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it? From my experience, I could answer that question, but why do you think it is?
Well, here's an outsider coming in. I think it starts with the people in the community. I think Tampa Bay actually is a special place to work and live and be a part of. And it's big enough to I think go toe to toe in the ring with any big city, but it's also got a very personal feel, and it's the way people do business.
Totally agree.
Commissions, annual fundraiser, and just seeing the stories in there and how people care. I think it starts with that, and it's tough. It would be tough to take it to that world-class level without that at the kernel. But then we have some sports franchises that are literally leading with their play on the field, but also how they do business. It doesn't happen this way. Like it really starts with the owners, and I believe
I agree.
Leaders, and it starts at the top. And these are just all three well-run organizations.
Hey, Chris, I was actually doing an interview. A student yesterday was asking me, why the Lightning have been so successful. And I said, and this is from my personal standpoint. And I believe the Community Hero program that Jeff Vinnick instituted from day one, the $50,000 check to the local, it has touched so many people at a grassroots level. Watching it happen every game, I think, brings a special sense of community to Lightning fans as being part of this. I think it's the greatest stroke of marketing genius I think I've ever seen and witnessed in sports, how it has happened and how it has grown the fan base. Would you agree with that? You've seen it all. How would you?
I wholeheartely agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And then a little twist on that, what the Glazer family does with their vision-based charity and how they get classes to kids. It personally hits home for me because I'm the son of two optometrists, and my mom had a specialty.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For kids. So it definitely hits home for me. But, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I did play football at the college level, Division III. We won a national championship in '99, beat Rowan University at the Stag Bowl in Salem, Virginia.
Nice.
Played for a Hall of Fame football coach. And he had several key sayings, but one of them was cast your bread upon the water and it comes back with strawberry jam. And the idea was this will make a difference in someone's life and it will come back to you manyfold. And I think that's what you see with the Vinnick family and what they're doing with that, and the Glazer family. When you have owners that are invested in the community, it creates that cheesy synergy that everyone talks about, but it does it in a real way.
I totally agree. Hey, Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate this. Let's get you on another time to have a longer conversation about all the different things that are going on in sports marketing. Thank you for supporting the Patriot Day golf outing and the Folds of Honor as well. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Look forward to next time. Thank you.
Right.
Bye.
Great. All right. I'm fascinated by the sports marketing and all the things that go, because it's such big money, and we see it. If you're a fan, you're part of it. I mean, you are immersed in it, whether you know it or not. And does it work? How does it work? So we'll talk with him at a later date. But right now, we're going to talk some USF football with our good friend Leo Haggerty, who's been covering the Bulls. I'm not sure, Leo. Good morning to you, my friend from Amped Up Sports. Did you go to Tuscaloosa? Did you make the trip?
I did not.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'm glad I didn't, because I saw more on TV than I probably would have saw in the press box.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, guys, the nice thing is we can talk about this where coaches can't. And again, let's get right to the penalties.
Yes.
I know guys come off the field and they say, hey, coach, he's holding me. Alabama's tackles, they weren't holding the edge rushers for USF. They were tackling them. And it was every single play. The funny thing was, in the first quarter, the referees called maybe 4 or 5 right in a row. Then, they figured out, we can't do this every play.
Yeah.
And Alabama just kept holding.
Yeah.
And it was sad. They had 13 penalties, Alabama did. But it was just frustrating because those edge rushers were getting around them every single time. And the tackle would just put an arm out and hook them either way. And it wasn't called.
Well, and there were some penalties that were called in the second half as well. We had one of the dad with USF dads on with us yesterday who went to the game, and who used to play for Florida State as well. And he said it just felt like the momentum had turned. USF was dominating, and they just started throwing flags. I mean, you hate that to be part of this, but I don't know. These are big brands. They'll do anything to protect them. As a Florida State fan, I can tell you that. But you don't. Listen. I hate to even make that case, right? You don't want to think that there's something nefarious going on, but damn, that looked really, really suspect.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I really felt sorry for R.J. Perry after the Bulls break a 50-yard run and they call a hold. It may be one of the top 5 worst calls I've ever seen in college football. All he did was put his arm out.
Yeah.
He just put his arm out. He didn't hold him. And it came back. And you know what? They're naming the field after Nick Saban. You honest to God think you want to be the officials that have called that game when Nick Saban Field is being named? You know what?
No.
It's in the
No.
back of your mind, and you hate to say that. And the bottom, here's the worst part, guys, and we can't ask the coaches that, but Byron Brown did not have a good game. But
Nope. No, he did
let's
not.
put one thing out there right away. To throw a 50-yard pass down the field with no defender and to hit that guy in stride, it's not easy.
No.
And then when all of a sudden you got the hand-to-hand combat going down the field, and again, he's missing it by maybe a foot, but he was missing it. They should have been up 14-3 right out of the gate.
And it's a great segue there because Coach Golish talked about this yesterday, what he could have did better with getting Brown. This is what he had to say with Brown and his inaccuracies against Alabama. Here we go.
I'll be honest with you. I think a chunk of that would go on us as coaches in the sense that I don't know that we did a great job totally getting him in a rhythm. We're a tempo offense where you could see it as a journalist, you could see it as a fan. I'm sure you could see it. There's a rhythm to it, and playing quarterback there's a rhythm to that. When you're not getting a ton going on first down, and then you're sitting there in second down, and like, man, I want to get him in a rhythm where he can hand it off, he can see it, and you could tell like him with the ball in his hands was so good for us. So you're trying to gauge how many hits do I want this kid to take? Yeah. And so, like I said, I think a lot on us as coaches not getting, because he was in a rhythm early. That first drive, man, oh man, was he in a rhythm. And then I feel like we didn't do a good enough job getting him in a rhythm. And, you saw, we tried to get him in a rhythm by shooting the ball vertically a little bit, and you get behind those guys and you don't connect on those, and you keep talking through, man, like, you're good. We're inches away. We're inches away. We're inches away. So, like I said, I think more so than anything else, it's us getting him in a rhythm. I thought the wideouts played extremely hard, but they have really good DBs. They have a really good pass rush. Those linebackers are really good players. Those windows are tighter. They're quicker. They're faster. And like I said, I say most of it. I would take all the blame on not getting him in a rhythm well enough for him to be able to execute. Because when you say that, you're in third and long virtually the entire night. Like, you look at the call sheet 3 quarters into the game, like, man, we haven't used any of our third and short plays, hadn't used any of our third and medium plays, literally. And you're 15 third downs in, and they're all long. Well, it's not impossible, but it's really hard to get in a rhythm when you're stuck in third and long. That's why I say it's more coaching than anything else. Because when you're in third and medium and you could get the ball out of your hand quick, you can get in a rhythm. Never did that. We didn't play action pass as much as we wanted to, so that doesn't get him in a rhythm. I thought he played extremely well. I get the pass efficiency deal. He didn't turn the ball over a single time. It was never careless with the ball. He gave our receivers a chance most of the time to go make a play on it. So, I guess when you look at a pass efficiency number, maybe I thought he was efficient in the situations he needed to be efficient in.
So there you go. And that was my biggest thing, Leo. We got, of course, Leo Haggerty on here of Amped Up Sports. For me, he missed passes against Bethune-Cookman. He missed passes last year versus Alabama. And I feel like in order for him to take that next step, if you're talking about him and USF going somewhere, he has to be more accurate. You've been a coach before. What would you do with Brown? Does it start off with the game plan? Is Golish right by trying to get him some easy passes and some confidence so he doesn't have those rough starts? I mean, what do you do with Brown and his accuracy?
Well, the biggest problem you had was the Alabama scheme on defense. They gave Brown the read every time in the first half, pull the ball and go around the end. The problem was after 5 or 6 yards, somebody's there to hit him. And Goalie said that. He said, look, we didn't want to run this guy so much, but the read he was getting was pull it and run, pull it and run, pull it and run. And let's be honest, the kid's not a slider. He just doesn't do it now. I think after this game, they're going to convince him, look, you got to slide, because if you're going to run the ball as much as you want to, you can't take those hits. No. Because you could see in the second half, He was a spent individual. He was hit, and hit some more. But you know what? The one thing I thought Coach Golish made emphasis of, I said, Coach, look, you watch the film. A lot of times you see things you thought you did bad and didn't, thought you did good and didn't. What was the one thing that jumped out at you? He said, we played really, 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 really hard.
Yeah.
And they did. You know, take that last 6 minutes away. There was just no gas left in the tank. Those tires were flat. They were just done. But
the score doesn't matter. Scores completely.
Immaterial. But you know what? If they don't get that motion penalty, that game could have got real interesting real quick.
Well, Leo, and I know Coach doubled down on this yesterday, and I hate to even be the least bit critical. What they did at Alabama is absolutely tremendous. From a 1-win team to a 7-win team to doing that at Tuscaloosa is insane. I mean, he has done a tremendous job. That said, the most confident, borderline cocky coach is at the 4-yard line with 6:57 left in the game, down 8 points, and he kicks a field goal. And of course, it all went haywire after that. More, I think, because of just, the pure, just physicality of the game. But how do you not go for a touchdown there? I know your quarterback has struggled a little bit, but it's just in that moment, you got to go for it, right? I mean, what?
Here's the problem, guys. They were 2 for 18, and if they'd have had a 4th and 2 or 3. I think he'd have gone for it. But 4 yards, all of a sudden, you got to throw it. And they're not throwing it real well. And it was just, I can't question his, thinking on that, because they were never in 3rd and short. Either they got the first down right away, being on 1st or 2nd down, but after that, it was 3rd and 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, and they weren't converting. If they were converting, I think he'd have gone for it. But he's saying, look, let's go here. Our defense is playing lights out. They got us 2 turnovers. Maybe we can get another one. But you know what? There just wasn't anything left in the tank with the defense.
Yeah.
With that being said, you're going on the road against Southern Miss. I mean, could there be some type of flatness, if you will? Do you expect this team to come out flat with the effort they had against Alabama? I get it, they lose, but you vote for 3 quarters. They played with them. Could you see them coming out flat, or do you think Coach Golish will have this team ready to go once again on the road?
Let's go with the database, Peter. And what I always tell my listeners and my readers is do the math. Last year, they only one time during the season had back-to-back losses. That's coaching. That's making sure you don't let one loss fester into 2. Yeah, UAB, FAU, there was your back-to-back. I think they're going to do everything possible to get this team ready to play against Southern Miss, because there are so many positives you can go on, especially defense. You know what, guys, we sat here last week on Wednesday and said, can they keep Alabama under 45? And JP, you said, look, hey, the board wants to put 50, 60 on the board. Yeah,
exactly.
He had trouble putting 20 up there.
I know.
Until the end of the game. But again, I think they're going to find a way to get past this, move on, and they'll play well up at Southern Miss.
And remember, you look at this defense, causing 3 fumbles, and this is all without Jalen Schuler. What's the latest on him? Anything on him coming back for this game, or is it Miami as their target at this point?
Miami at the earliest.
Okay.
At the earliest. He may still have may have to go to the bye week. But again, would you rather have him for Miami, or would you rather have him for Tulane, which is a conference game? I think if he's not 100% for Miami, they're going to rest him, because they get the bye week, and then they got the Tulane and another. They got time between Tulane and Memphis. They're playing the 2 toughest teams in the AAC right out of the gate. They want, all bullets in the gun by then.
Leo Haggerty joining us here. Did physically, when you play a team like Alabama, the next week, you can see this, these are data points that you can watch. The next week, it's tough for teams to win because of the physicality of the game. I hope that's not the case here. Southern Miss has the great Tate Rodemaker starting at quarterback, former Florida State, and one-time USF quarterback as well, or commit. So I don't think it's a very good team, but it's these are spots that you really have to, focus in. And like you said, good teams don't lose 2 in a row. I think it's a tough spot, but they should be talented enough to win this game. And I'd like to see Byram get that passing game going this week.
And you know what? I got to agree with Peter on that. Get him some easy throws. Get him into a rhythm. Get him going, because you're going to go as your quarterback goes. That's just the way of the world in NCAA and the NFL. If your quarterback's having a bad game, you're probably going to lose, unless you're the Bears and the Titans do stupid stuff. But yeah, I think what they want to do is give him easy stuff. Get that. And you know what, JP, when you talk about him not going for it on fourth down, he's had a couple in those first 2 games where he's had fourth and, that much, and he's punted. And, I asked him after the Cookman game, first series, he's got probably fourth and a couple inches. And I go, Coach, did you contemplate that? He goes, I contemplated it. And that's about all. I think what he wants to do is he doesn't want to put his defense in the hole right out of the gate. And that's the key. He's finally starting to trust his defense. Todd Orlando called a great game.
But that defense was humming, and if you don't make it at the 4-yard line, Alabama's at the 3 or the 2, and they're coming out with the game on the line. The crowd's nervous. They may make another mistake. They may fumble the ball again, even if you don't make it. But God forbid, it's 4 yards. I saw that kid run, Byron Brown. Get him out on the edge and see what happens. You know what? I mean, exactly. He's done it all game long. I mean, you're at freaking Tuscaloosa at the 4th quarter with down 1 score. Go for the damn thing. If you don't make it, who cares? And then whatever. You know what? Again, I don't want to criticize the coach who's done an amazing job there.
And you know what? We talk about moral victories. There's no such thing as a moral victory. You know what?
Yes, there is.
That was a moral loss because it showed you could play with them. And that's the conversation we had last week.
Okay. I'll take that. A moral loss. Yeah. You can't tell me that going to Tuscaloosa and being down a score, less than a score in the 4th quarter is not a victory for this program. It's a resounding victory for this program.
Absolutely. And you know what, JP, if they score and take the lead, you think those sphincters get a little tight?
Oh, my God. They were already that tight. Are you kidding me? Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Put more pressure on Alabama. By not going for it, I kind of think you let them exhale and go, okay, now we still got the lead, et cetera, et cetera. So whatever. It's nitpicking at this point because from 45,000 feet, this is a huge, huge step for this program moving forward. And now they got to back it up with a win, and then then Miami comes to town, and they got a real shot to win that game. I think they do. So we'll see.
What do you say, Leo? You think they have a shot after the performance they put on last Saturday night versus the Crimson Tide?
I think defensively that's going to keep them in the game, but I'll tell you what, I'm a big Cam Ward fan, guys. You know that.
Yeah. He's a good player.
You're not going to be able to hold Miami, to 15, 20 points. You're going to have to get in the 30s because they're going to get 28, 30, 33 right in there.
Yep. Wow. I can't wait. We'll talk about that next week. I know you got to get out there right now. So thank you, Leo. Appreciate your time as always. Tell everybody how they can get your content at Amped Up Sports.
Hey, go to Amped Up Sports. Had a great conversation with the volleyball coach yesterday. And, we covered the NCAA women's volleyball Final Four, which was probably the most intimidating 2 days of my life, seeing all these 6'5", 6'6", and 6'9" women. Hi, girls. How you doing? That were athletic and could play. Yeah. Have that up. Have some interesting conversations with Golish out there, as usual, my 2 questions. Yes. And, go to ampedupsports.com and go to us on YouTube and Facebook, and you'll see exactly what we're doing.
All right. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate it, my friend. All right. We'll take it. Hey, cool. We'll see you next Wednesday. And good luck to the Bulls this weekend. All right. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Tampa Bay Sun Football Club, which we have not done yet. And I've been wanting to get these folks on. Tiffany Hubert will join us and give us some information on what's going on with the new women's professional soccer league team. We'll also get back to talking some football here with Buccaneers, and we'll talk some FSU and UF as well. Quick break. We're coming to you live from the Bayou Club in Largo, Florida. We're here today for the Patriot Day golf outing on 9/11 to benefit the Folds of Honor. Back in 3. Stay with us. Hey, it's football season, and we welcome back the Gator Report every Monday and Friday, sponsored by the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Just go to the website. You can contact them through there. Scott Jeeves is a tremendous, aggressive attorney and a big Gator fan, so we appreciate him supporting this show and, of course, your Florida Gators. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Whether it's personal injury or anything else, any law matter at all, it's the Jeeves Law Group, Jeeves lawgroup.com. Give them a call. Tell them JP sent you.
All right, this is for all you guys who don't want to go to the gym and do 5,000 crunches. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, you can get on the new True Body machine where you can reduce fat and tone up your muscle. It's like doing 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Define your body as you see fit. True Body offers personalized muscle stimulation that delivers the equivalent of those 54,000 crunches in just 15 minutes. Just get in touch with them at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Chris Lugo and the team over there will set you up on True Body and get amazing results. Non-invasive with comfortable and little to no pain and zero downtime. You can isolate and target those areas that you want to improve and treat multiple areas simultaneously. It's an amazing machine, so check it out at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com.
JP here to ask the question, are you planning an event, meeting, or conference? If so, you'll want to call the designers and production professionals at Extravaganza Productions Incorporated. With over 35 years of experience in the events industry, designing and producing every type of small to large event, they can provide a huge resource for design ideas, audio, visual, sound, lighting, decor, and entertainment to turn your event into an incredible experience for the entire audience. Folks, I've worked up close and personal with this group at many national events and Tampa events, and they have unique capabilities that help you save time and money in the planning and execution of your next event. Don't delay. Call these pros today at 813-621-4700 or check out their website at extravaganzaproductions.com. Tell them JP sent you, and they'll provide a free initial consultation for your event. Extravaganza Productions, the best in the business. Golfers, listen up. The hottest new driving range craze has come to Rogers Park in Tampa. The Top Tracer range is now open 10 to 9 p.m. And just like you see on TV, every shot is tracked for yardage and accuracy, giving you immediate feedback. And best of all, you can virtually play the top courses like Pebble Beach or St. Andrews with your buddies. Plus, great food and drink options available in the well-appointed hitting bays. Very comfortable out there. Reservations highly recommended, starting at $25 per hour, including balls. Reserve at RogersParkGolf.net. That's RogersParkGolf.net. See you there.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, along with Peter Blake of the Sports Web, joining me here this morning on a
Hump Day.
Oh, very nice. Well done. Well
I got
done,
you. I got you. I knew what you were trying to go for there. I know. I can. We're on remote, but I definitely know what you were thinking when you said it. So there you go.
Good job. Good job. All right, let's talk a little women's professional soccer here. The Tampa Bay Sun got their first victory up at Lexington earlier this week. Tiffany Hubert joins us now, and she is the PR director at the Tampa Bay Sun. Good morning to you, Tiffany. Thank you so much for coming on. We've been wanting to get you guys on for a while, so we had to wait to get your first win. All right, then we said, all right, let's get them on. Let's go. How are you?
Good. No, good. Doing great. Thank you for having me. And absolutely, yeah, first win. So if you had to wonder, yes, we are official. We got our first win this past weekend.
Tell me a little bit about it up in Lexington. What was it like? What was the ride back like? I mean, getting that first win, that's pretty special.
Yeah, no, we definitely got our first win. Really excited. First road game. I did not make the trip, but was definitely checking in with our team and it was definitely different. I mean, a lot of our players have played in a lot of different climates, but they've been here conditioning in Tampa, learning our humidity, learning what it's like to play in that weather. So this was our first away game and got a chance to kind of play in some cooler weather. So they definitely appreciated that change of weather, but I'm happy to be back and ready for the home game this Saturday.
Go back to that first home game. What did you think of the crowd? What was that moment like? Go back to that, Tiffany, a little bit.
Yes, well, that moment was, I mean, it was inspiring. For us, it's something. I joined the organization in February, so it was something that seemed far off at that time, but then I was like, oh gosh, it is right around the corner. Just seeing really literally building the elements that it takes to put on the game day. We're so close to it, so sometimes we don't necessarily think about all of the things that go into it in terms of just building a team. But it was really great to see the community support. Certainly, folks like yourself, other people who are in the space working in sports have always been supportive of the team. So it was just really a full circle moment to be able to really launch a professional women's soccer team right there off the Hillsborough River. It was a great day.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you had all the stars out there. Baker Mayfield was out there, and his wife was out there. Saw the mayor out there. Titus O'Neil was out there. It was the place to be, right?
Yes. We would like to say we are the place to be for sure on a Saturday night for our home games. I mean, it's beautiful, literally right on the river.
Yeah.
We understand it's unique in terms of our ability for waters, right? So we've celebrated on the water with championship parades. We hope to do that as our, in our first season. But another unique thing is having our players arrive via water taxi as well. So just, trying to get those different elements.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Tell us more about the game day deal. I mean, so the
Yes.
players come in on the water taxi. This is cool.
Yes, absolutely. So with us being right downtown, right off the river, we are encouraging people to support the local businesses along the river walk. And our players also, they arrive via Pirate Water Taxi. So we encourage fans to do the same, and then our players as well do that. So they get a chance to kind of wave the fans in, kind of our edition of like March to the Match. So we call it our pitch, but it is where we are water taxiing over along the Hillsborough River to the game.
Well, I noticed it was a packed house. We got about 5,000 seats there. Well, how much are tickets? How do people get tickets? And you got a game coming up Saturday as well, right? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Yes. Our next home game is this Saturday. Tickets are available on our website. We are, our ticketing platform is SeatGeek. So you can go on SeatGeek, or you can just go right to our page. I mean, we have a variety of different ticket options. We've got, student tickets. So we call it our student rush tickets. So we have those for people. We recognize we're right by UT. So we want to make it affordable for everybody. But our tickets range, if you're looking for, midfield, you're going to pay around $30. But if you're looking for like standing room only section, you can pay $15. So we have our supporter group. They're called the Heat Wave, but anybody can sit in that section, but it's right there. It's standing room only. There's drums, there's smoke, kind of smoke machines and things like that go off during the game. So it definitely ranges. I mean, if you don't want to be in that action, you can have, there's seat back chairs available. There's standard bleacher sections available. So I would like to say there's definitely a wide variety of seating options to really meet, that friend group, or if you even more of a premium option, we have kind of our sunrooms, which is our kind of private suite-like environment. And then we have our standard bleachers as well. So there's a lot of different elements and options for people to choose from.
So you go over to Armature Works or wherever on the river. If you're downtown, take the pirate taxi over there. You can get right into that's a pretty cool way to spend a Saturday.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we partner with the Pirate Taxi, and if you can come anywhere, but if you're coming from the Armature Works stop, it's free. So you can just come right over round trip. Absolutely.
Or you can swim across. That's fine, Jen.
Or you can listen, or the paddle boards, right? We haven't quite seen that yet, but I know that's very popular along the river.
Is there dock space there that you can tie?
There isn't dock space, but I feel like that's going to be probably our next addition, maybe for the spring schedule.
We'll I like that. The dock. Yeah, take your boat right up there. Perfect. Hey, Tiffany, thanks so much for joining us. Look forward to working with you guys. Let's get some of the players on and coach and everything as we go through the season. We'd love to have you. Love to give you as much publicity as possible. We got a lot of local sports fans here watching the show, so we want to make the Tampa Bay Sun part of the family here. So thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you all for welcoming me. And yes, we look forward to seeing you all out at Riverfront Stadium.
Yes, I'm definitely going to get out there for a match soon. Can't do it this Saturday, but soon for sure. Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll get you back there for sure.
All right. Thank you, Tiffany. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Yes.
Paul, come on over, and then Greg, come on over after him. How's that? We're doing producing on the air here.
Love that. I love that. That's good. You're doing all the producing. There you go. Set up that camera shot right there. We're on the JP Peterson Show on a Happy Hump Day edition.
There we are.
Who do we got, JP?
Look at that. You don't recognize that face? It's Richard Nixon.
Oh,
of course it is.
You can't keep on doing that.
Isn't it? Are you a crook?
Well, I'm not a crook. And America deserves someone that's, well, not quite a crook. Let's put it that way. Now, who that is yet to be determined.
I think we only have a choice of crooks at this point.
I was just going to say. Flip the coin, goddammit.
Can you come back, please? How about Ronald Reagan? Can Ronald Reagan come back?
Well, you know, the thing about Reagan was he united everybody, even though, well, he forgot who he was talking to most of the time.
How's the Reagan move? The Reagan movement's doing great.
I don't know if it's doing as great as they say, but I haven't seen it. But I have friends. Robert Davi plays Brezhnev in it, and he was really happy with it. So I need to go see it because I'm a big fan.
I thought you were in it.
No.
How come you didn't get that role?
Because
who's that slapdick that we got?
Dennis Quaid. Just does skits every now and then. He's no big deal.
Barely beat you out. I would imagine.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. So we're going to play golf together?
I think you're going to play golf. I'm going to try to keep the ball. Oh, well, then I'm definitely going to play golf.
Yeah.
I might have the advantage today.
You might. Well, we're on the same team, so we want to keep
that's
it
right.
together.
So let's double team it.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's going on in the entertainment world? How's your movie doing? How's Deer Camp doing?
Deer Camp's doing well. Deer Camp is everywhere now, streaming. But the industry is going through some changes. I think we're going to see. For example, my little brother is doing Conjuring 4, and they were going to shoot in Atlanta, where in Georgia the incentives are just really great.
Ridiculous.
But now they just pulled to London, so we're seeing a big shift.
Why?
Studios especially are moving to Europe.
Why?
Well, they don't have to
because
deal.
America's trash.
They don't have to deal with the prickly rigidity of our labor unions. A, B, labor costs are lower over there, and then you got these governments, Italy, Spain, that are just handing out cash. If we made a movie today,
right,
and let's say it cost $10 million,
right,
and we shot it in Malta,
beautiful,
we'd get $4 million before we even showed up.
Okay, so as a producer, I'm going to Malta.
There you go. So
Okay.
that's the kind of the thumbnail of really what's going on. So we'll see. You'll see. Even the new Marvel movies that are coming out. Most of them were shot in Asia and Europe. So
it makes me recall a scene in The Godfather, and then the great series that you turned me on to, The Making of The Godfather.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And there was a scene or a whole episode where they were trying to shoot in Italy, and Francis Ford Coppola was like, "We got to shoot here."
Mm-hmm.
And there was tell me that story.
So because they go back to kind of trace more or less the origins of let's say the family. For those that haven't seen it, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it, of course.
Who hasn't seen The Godfather?
And it cost them so much money back then, of course. And you're shooting on film, and you're shooting with cameras the size of suitcases,
right?
And there was no mobility, so it cost them, I think, like an extra $9 million to shoot 3 days over there. A lot of which he paid for himself. And convinced the studio who was behind it, going, "You're way over budget. You got to just find some place in America." No,
we got a stupid mob movie you're making that nobody's going to come see. It's 3 hours.
It's going to bomb.
Right, it's going to bomb.
That may have actually saved the studio.
Yeah. Great story. By the way, Paul Wilson, actor, media mogul, part of the Wilson family. Your dad is on his book tour. Tell me,
that's something that I never thought would happen.
Yeah,
anytime. I mean, I think right now he's still sleeping, but
that's what you do when you retire. You sleep till night.
It's very interesting after being the kid of a television newsman who, ever since I can remember, our first memories of him, because when we were kids getting up and going to school, he was still sleeping because he wouldn't get to the station until like noon, and then not get home till midnight, and we were always already fast asleep. But the first time we would see him was on TV. And of the Edward R. Murrow ilk, if you will, at the time Dad was in high school, he wrote a letter to Edward R. Murrow and said, I think I want to do this. And my grandmother used to say that my dad would read the news as a teenager into a hairbrush, like Edward R. Murrow. And he would listen. Now, he was from the country, Big Stone Gap, Virginia, up in the mountains, That's not Southern. That's mountains, right? And so he was.
You talk funny when you come from there.
And he knew that he couldn't be a broadcaster with that accent. So
sounding like a hillbilly.
So he would practice emulating Edward R. Murrow. And to this day, you can hear it. But Edward R. Murrow wrote him back and said, here's what you should study: the arts, humanities, history, maybe even a language, but stay away from journalism. That will come. So, but one of the codes, certainly of that legendary era of newsmen, was you're not the story. Keep your opinions out of it. Right? Tell the facts, not the truth.
That's old-fashioned journalism, right there. Yeah.
So for him to tell a story, the book is called Tuned In. It's on Amazon right now, and it's kind of his 57 years of being in television news, and basically coming from anonymity in the sticks of Virginia. I think the population back then was 2,000. I think it's probably 2,200 right now. So for him to then go to the top of the game and basically St. Louis and Charlotte and Virginia, and then meet Putin, go to Moscow, go undercover and go to Cuba, several presidents. Mark and I were both kind of trying to pull out a lot of, what did that feel like? Well, it was a cold day, and Ted Bundy and I were about 12 feet away through the glass, because he also witnessed the execution of Ted Bundy. And I was there broadcasting for FSU, campus radio station, so I got to interview Dad. So there's a lot of those little nuggets that, and I think the takeaway is the title Tuned In is not about tuning into TV.
Yeah.
He was tuned into the community and to the family. And as an artist who really cared about really creating and telling stories. But, mom and dad met in musical theater. So when Murrow said, study theater, and back then I think they called it speech and drama.
Speech and drama,
right?
Yes,
there was no television news or communications.
Because that allowed you. It is television after all,
right?
And you are being, you are emoting through the TV screen. Sure. So having an acting background is
well, and then when he found out that Murrow himself did that and studied that, it was like, well, this is a piece of cake. So it's
how does your dad? I'm going to obviously ask him this question when he comes on, but how does he feel? How does Mark feel? How do you feel? And I know how I feel watching what is called journalism today, which is nothing even close to what we had even 20 years ago.
Yeah,
where everything is agenda driven by large corporations and has nothing to do with news.
Well, even if you go back and even go watch in 1968, the first broadcast of a thing called 60 Minutes.
Yes. Boy, has that changed.
All of a sudden, the network went, people are watching, we can sell advertising. Right? And
that was the end of journalism.
Thus became the commercial chase for ratings, which means money. And then certainly as kind of television, or I should say, even the industry evolved from shooting on film. I mean, back in Murrow's days, and even Walter Cronkite and Eric Severide, it was just them. Good evening. There was no video behind them.
Smoking a cigarette.
Usually, chain smoking. Right.
The ashtray right in front of them, the smoke wafting up.
But when then local news took off, when Sony arrived with Beta, in '83, and cameras became a little bit more easy to deal with. And then the term
electronic news guy.
That's right. That began. I read somewhere too that Johnny Carson's first 10 years were recorded on videotape, and they liked it because they could just record over it. So we've lost 10 years of Johnny Carson because of videotape. But
saving money.
Yeah, I think Dad will tell you this too. The opinions and certainly the race for money, I think, has put the news business in the state that it's in right now, which is basically looking for resuscitation. And you got 70% of America still gets their news from Facebook. So there's that.
Oh, there you go. And there was, speaking of the Hollywood actor.
He can't hear you, but I'll
Yeah.
Now I can. Go ahead.
James Earl Jones. He just passed away. Give me
Yes.
some memories. Yes. Give me an impression. Give me some memories. What's your greatest memory of Earl Jones there and his legacy as an actor?
Certainly a man that could really come out of nowhere with a bad stutter to be the voice of, two generations. Obviously his role as, I think it took him 2 hours to do the voice of Darth Vader in the first movie. And then it took him like 2 days for the Empire Strikes Back sequel because they didn't realize what they did right. I saw him on stage in Fences back in the late 80s. And what a magnificent stage actor he was. I mean, we would never have, no offense to him, but we wouldn't have a Denzel Washington without James Earl Jones. I mean, an incredible artist and who had just such a heart and really cared about it. So, I mean, just really a loss. But, he lived a wonderful, long life. And thanks to the movies that he was a part of, he will always live with us.
Yeah. What a voice.
There you go.
Yeah, what a voice, and I always
brought that up, Peter. That was good.
Yeah, I always associate him with Field of Dreams because it always makes me think
Field
of
of Dreams.
Father.
Yeah.
And nobody talks
You build
about
it, they will come.
Yeah.
Right, and his baseball speech is amazing.
The baseball speech.
I got to go check my notes on that one. I don't think I have that one.
I'm going to have you do that next time you come on.
Okay, fine. That would be fine.
Amazing.
Give us some homework. All right. Well, thank you, brother.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
All right. See you out there.
Go practice, will you? I'm going to need your drive out there.
Great impressions.
Craig,
man.
you want to jump in here? Come on in. We got the guest cavalcade just keeps on coming here. The general manager of the Bayou Club. Golf professional.
Yeah,
He's the director of golf here. Step on in here. We got a great tournament here today. I'm a member over at Palmacia. We're going through some overseeding right now, so our entire course is really ugly and brown. So thank you for having us over here today on the green golf course.
We love having this tournament. This is a tournament that's pretty close to a lot of our hearts. It's a tournament that's going to benefit the Folds of Honor, which is for those of you that don't know, it's a foundation that Colonel Dan Rooney started, 10 or 15 years ago. And every year they give scholarships out to children of fallen veterans. Just in last year alone, or between 2022 and 2023, they gave out 576 scholarships, totaling about $2.4 million. So anything we can do to tie in with that, we're very happy to help out.
Yeah, and on 9/11, never a more appropriate day than that. And the stories that we will hear today, I've been part of this before, and they're heart-wrenching. They're heart-wrenching, but they're wonderful in that these children now are going on and getting an education, and they feel part of a bigger family, right?
Correct. I've seen some of the videos where they've shown Colonel Rooney going to the house and giving a scholarship, and it's just they're heart wrenching. It's to be in that situation. This is just a small token that we can do to help those families out that are going through the struggles.
Yeah, so that's why we're here today, and we'll honor those folks that have fallen on 9/11. We'll do it through this great Folds of Honor charity. If folks want to give to Folds of Honor, I'm sure they have a website, correct?
They do. It's foldsofhonor.org. They take online donations. Many golf courses across the country will have an event today. There's also they do a golf marathon where PGA golf professionals will go out and take donations per hole they play, and they'll play 100 holes in a day.
Nice.
It's a really neat. It's a really neat foundation. As a matter of fact, I think it's still on the Golf Channel. There's a Folds of Honor college golf tournament that's going on yesterday and today
nice.
as well. So a lot of the upper the better college players and college teams are participating right now.
All right, Kick, tell me a little bit about the state of golf in Tampa Bay. I know we've got some new golf courses that may be coming online. Like golf was 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Golf was in trouble.
Yes.
And then came COVID, and now there's an explosion. What's going on here at the Bayou Club? What's going on here locally?
I think the explosion is kind of leveling off, which is okay. Because for a lot of us, those 2 years it was tough. Yeah. Right. I mean, trying to keep staff members, a lot of golf professionals were 7 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day. It's leveling off a little bit more, but I think we're still over where we were 10 years ago. I think we're still in a better position. Obviously, the stuff with the PGA Tour and the Live Tour, that throws kind of a wrench into it.
Hate it.
Yeah, it's not good for the growth of the game, which is what we're all here for.
Right.
But I think golf overall is in a good place right now.
Yeah. And what's going on here at the Bayou Club?
We're just trucking along. We had we did a renovation this year on our tee boxes, which we're really excited about. We got a new fleet of golf carts earlier in the year.
Nice.
Our membership is holding pretty steady, which is a good thing. So yeah, we're hoping that this rainy season is over with.
How do you deal with that?
I tell everybody this story that we were 15 inches below average in May.
In May.
In May, we are now 30 to 40 inches over. Hurricane Debbie dumped 14 inches on us in one day, which was tough. And then last week, when we got storms, it was 3 to 4 inches of rain.
It's crazy
every day, and there's just no place for the water to go.
Right.
So
the lakes are full and they look nice.
Oh my gosh, the lakes are definitely full. The bayou's full. So
any gators out there tonight?
You will probably see a couple gators. We have a big one that lives on 6 and 7. Probably one of the biggest alligators I've ever seen in the wild.
How big?
Probably about 13 feet.
13 feet?
Yeah. So if you hit a ball over there, just let it go. We've got plenty of golf balls.
Do you ever have anybody that's silly enough to say, I want to go play with the alligator?
When I have guests that come down, I'm from St. Louis originally. So when I have guests that comes down from the north, they always want to get close to them. Like, knock yourself out, but let me turn my phone on first. I want to get the video of this. So yeah, we
haven't had any incidents though.
No incidents.
No incidents though.
No, we've managed to keep all of our hands and toes and fingers. So.
Well, evidently you won't be getting any competition from the state parks.
No,
they won't be building golf courses, I don't think.
Yeah, that was that whole thing, that whole situation was a little strange how it came out and then it went away pretty quickly. So
yeah, are there anything on the board around here locally that's happening, or any new things that you've heard of?
Not really. Like I said, I think we're all just kind of maintaining the steady pace that we're on, trying to make sure that that we keep all of our members happy and keep the golf course in good shape. And
have you been out to the Top Tracer range at Rogers Park yet?
I have not.
They're one of our sponsors. That's why I mentioned that. It is so cool. Have you been to the Top Tracer ranges?
I have seen those before.
And I know there's some clubs that are putting Tracer like on tees and stuff, right?
I know Cabot Farms has they have TrackMan on their entire range.
Which is great.
Which is really cool.
It's really cool. It's expensive.
It is expensive.
It is expensive.
But to have it on a tee box would be on a hole would be really, really cool. Right? Because then you could really see
how short I actually hit it. I was 280. No, it was actually 210.
Yeah, exactly. Well, everybody hits a 300.
By my calculations, that's the TrackMan. It's actually telling you it's 210. So
exactly.
Shut up.
Exactly.
Just adds more wagering. I lose more money.
Exactly.
That's good.
Technology is awesome.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for having us out here for Folds of Honor. It's going to be a fun day.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. If you haven't been out to the Top Tracer range, get your butt out there. Super fun.
Definitely. Hey, listen, do you want to go out to that baseball speech from James Earl Jones?
Do you have it?
I do have it, yes. You ready for it?
Any copyright infringement issues?
I hope not. I mean, we got it on audio here. So video so here's the audio. James Earl Jones talking about baseball. And if you're a baseball fan, you absolutely love this here on the JP Peterson Show. Okay. Where is it at?
Click.
They come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They turn up your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. They'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it is money they have and peace they like.
Ray, just sign the papers.
And they'll walk out to the bleachers and sit in shirt sleeves on a perfect afternoon. They'll find they have reserved seats somewhere along one of the baselines. But they said they were children and cheered their heroes. And they'll watch the game. And it'll be as if they dipped themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick, they'll have to brush them away from their faces.
Ray, when the bank opens in the morning, they'll foreclose.
People will come, Ray.
You're broke, Ray. You sell now or you lose everything.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, it's a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Come on. I mean, everybody talks about.
Wow, chills, bro.
Bro, I've got
chills,
goosebumps right now because every time I hear that, it always reminds me of not only my father, but my father's passion and how romantic he was about baseball. And you watch this movie and you're like, damn, I get it. And it was James Earl Jones that has those lines that talks about baseball and how it goes through time and how it goes through changes, but it's still a constant, beautiful thing. So I'm still getting goosebumps from that movie. And that movie was made in 1988, 1989. So people glossing over that. And I was, because it was Terrence Mann. He was a sports writer in there.
Yeah.
A great character with all kinds of depth, and you believed it. That's what James Earl Jones did. He made you believe what
you
he
had to buy into that movie to make it work. And and that speech is just, it gives you goosebumps. And it's interestingly enough, now they play a Major League Baseball game on that field, in that cornfield.
Yes.
I mean, it has exploded. Yes, you build it, they will come. And that's
yes. And by the way, he was
I hate
also
to take this turn on this point, but it just when I'm listening to that and I'm like, it's reminding me of my love for baseball. I just love the game of baseball, love playing it. The feeling of like hitting a baseball on the sweet spot and watching it go.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, you're taking batting practice and you're like, oh, that one felt good.
Yes.
You know, and it's just that it's indescribable. The feeling of, playing catch and having that mitt on, whether it's a catcher's mitt, a first baseman's mitt, or a fielder's mitt, and that pop when you catch the ball, and the feel of the baseball and the seams and making it turn where you throw. I mean, God, this is playing the game. When growing up, it's the first memories I have of sports and being on a team, and it's just absolutely magical moments of, I can remember home runs that I've hit. And like when I was 7 years old in a championship game, not to gloss myself, but it's like, I can remember that like it was one of the greatest moments of my life, like without question.
Yeah.
And, thinking back and playing high school and then I think about how my love of the game has been stolen by one man.
Why, by one
organization. It's just like, we're not even an organization. I love the Rays as an organization, and I'm not the only one, by the way. I'm not the only one.
No.
And that's a shame. That's a shame. Shame on them. Shame on him for doing that. Shame on him. But I mean, I can't even get excited about the future. It's so hard. Please sell the effing team. And I can get my relationship back with baseball, and especially with the Rays. Please, for the love of God. For so many of us, just take your money and go.
Watch those
Cash
movies.
out and
Watch
go.
that movie, and if you don't get inspired, and you don't have a pulse.
Did Rick write this before I even started speaking? I think he did. Look what he wrote.
Okay,
we're on the same page. Yes, the love of baseball, JP. Then Sue Succubus stealing the soul of baseball from us. Oh my God, absolutely, brother. Did you write that before I started my little soliloquy?
I think he did.
I think he did.
I think everybody's thinking.
I'm not alone. We're not alone, Rick.
No,
we're not alone. We want our baseball back.
That's it. We want exciting baseball back. You don't want to hear about stadiums. You don't want to hear about money. You don't want to hear about any of that. And that is what that speech absolutely is talking about. It doesn't matter about the money. It doesn't matter about all the nonsense. It's about baseball. It's about the game that transcends time. That's what it's about.
A good call on that one. All right, let's take a break. We need to take a break.
Yes, we do.
Come back on the other side, and we'll hit some I want to talk about the quarterback situations at Florida State and Florida as we head into this weekend of college football games. We've got some other stuff we want to get to as well. We are brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. I referred Chris Lugo from Bay Area Modern Medical Center to Italiano. Actually, he asked me who to talk to over there to get business insurance or redo his business insurance. So he's taken advantage of that. And I implore you guys to do as well. If you started a side hustle or you have a business right now and you don't have business insurance, you got to get it, because otherwise you're personally liable if someone is to sue you. And people do that these days. They really do. So make sure you have business insurance, and also all your other insurance needs. Shop it around. They just help us with another home insurance issue. And it's so easy just to let them handle it, and you save all the money. That's what it's about. Great customer service at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. Back in 3, live at the Bayou Club. We're here for Patriot Day golf outing, benefiting the Folds of Honor. Back in 3.
This is The Strike. 102.5 WHPT, HD2 Sarasota, Tampa, St. Pete.
Discover a world of elegance and sophistication at the Gold and Diamond Source. Whether you're searching for your first piece or celebrating a special milestone, their expert team is here to guide you every step of the way. Navigating the world of fine jewelry can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Their knowledgeable staff is dedicated to helping you choose the perfect piece, ensuring you feel confident and informed. At the Gold and Diamond Source, they pride themselves on offering only the highest quality jewelry. From stunning engagement rings to timeless watches, each piece is crafted with precision and care. So take advantage of their 5 years interest-free financing. This means you can get a $5,000 piece and only pay $83 a month. And if you're new to buying diamonds, their first-time buyer program will educate you on the 4 C's: cut, color, clarity, and carat, and help you understand the different shapes and sizes available. Go enjoy the great staff at the Gold and Diamond Source. You'll be family forever. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Ulmerton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com.
Hey Tampa Bay sports fans, this is two-time LPGA major champion Jane Geddes here. After winning the US Open and 10 other LPGA events, I wanted to try something completely different. So I came right off the top turnbuckle and landed in the crazy world of WWE. And yes, you heard that right. That's WWE. Working for the Vince McMahon as the VP of Talent Relations for the company. Now, though, I want to work for you. Everything I've done in my life, I've done with incredible passion. And now I've turned my focus to leading the best real estate team in Tampa Bay, the Geddes Gordon Group with Keller Williams in South Tampa. If you're looking for a new home, an investment property, or looking to sell your current home, we will give you major championship level service. When you choose Geddes Gordon Group, you become part of our inner circle, like family. So if you're looking for a few golf tips or golf course view, we're going to stripe it right down the fairway. Call me at 813-485-6808 or go to gettysgordongroup.com, or again, give me a ring at 813-485-6808.
JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units, and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Hey, it's football season, so we welcome back the FSU Football Report every Monday and Friday on the J.P. Peterson Show, sponsored by those huge FSU fans at Italiano Insurance. They'll save you money as well. Just do a quick insurance checkup, 813-877-7799. They just saved me $500 on homeowners insurance. Who's doing that? Yeah, they just shopped it around, found a better, cheaper company, and we got a cheaper price. And business insurance. Make sure you're covered or you could lose your personal wealth. That's 813-877-7799. ItalianoInsurance.com. Go Noles.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, one of South Tampa premier traditional Italian restaurant. We were recently voted number 3 on Open Table list of Tampa Bay's top 10 restaurants. restaurants. We're very proud of that because we take great care of preparing each dish by hand with homemade sauces, pastas, only the freshest local ingredients. You won't see the big institutional vendor trucks pulling up to our back door. We get our seafood from local vendors. Sometimes I even drive out to Topper Springs and pick out our daily catch right off those boats. So stop by and say hello. Try our traditional lasagna, the fresh veal, some of our signature dishes like capelli al granchio, that is angel hair with lump crab meat, our branzino, that is a sea bass. We're located at 4205 South McDill, and you can make a reservation on Open Table and read all the great reviews. See you soon. Ciao. Grazie.
Let's go. Right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show.
And I think we're having some tech issues, so welcome back to the JP Peterson Show on a happy
Hump Day.
I'm Peter Blake along with JP Peterson. Let's get him out of there. I don't know what's going on. Let's see if we can go back to him. So we're having some tech issues at this point. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get professional handicapper extraordinaire of my show, The Sports Web, and we'll try to see what's going on with JP. Oh, there we go. We got him back there, right there. Are you back, JP?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is going in and out. Ooh.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Spectrum. Sounds like Spectrum once again.
No, I'm blamed, Stu.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here in Pinellas County, so
there you go.
He found out. His henchman found out, and the
henchman and the
put the kibosh on us.
All right, yes.
I got to get this in real quick. When I asked Rick, was he thinking before I went into my my diatribe, he said, I did indeed. I was thinking the same thing as you were talking and remembered I don't care about baseball this year. Thanks, Stu. How about that little bench clearing, whatever that was last night?
Yeah.
As you say, to plunked, I forget who it was last night.
Castellanos.
Castellanos.
Yes, who got hit during the week, so I guess he was just tired of getting hit, and he wasn't going to take it anymore.
I think a lot of these players are. Who was it the other day that went on that rant? Got hit in the back of the head by one of these young pitchers that's throwing 100 miles an hour and has no idea where it's going. One of the Braves players, God, I forget who it was, but he's right. He's absolutely right. These batters are getting in the box, and these guys are just trying to max throw as hard as they can, and half the time they have no idea where it's going. It's scary. It's kind of they're going to have whole entire armored suits to go up there and hit. It's crazy.
You're gonna have to have Barry Bonds type of.
I know, right?
Covering
you
your own
said it last night. That looked pretty purposeful. So I don't I think they had a beef, the Phillies. But isn't it interesting? And by the way, let's bring Harry the Greek in. I don't want to keep him, backstage. What's up, Harry? How are you, buddy? There he is.
How's it going, guys?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
Doing fantastic. JP, how are you? That beautiful wife and family of yours doing, bud?
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm the most blessed man in the world, man. Don't even get me started with my lovely.
Buddy, for those that don't follow you on Facebook, it's amazing. I love some of the food pictures you send out. I'm telling you, you're the quintessential husband. I'm telling you, man, because seriously, man, because people really don't know how in tune you are to your family. And I'll tell you what, man, you are a blessed individual. Man. 1,000,000%.
Right?
Bro.
You're Greek. You know that. Family's everything. It is everything in this world. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. And I hope that comes through in our postings. We're certainly not showing off our wealth. I can tell you that. We're just trying to.
No, man, it's great. It's really great. My wife even commented on it last week.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you. Well, as I was making a point about my love for the game, and I'm watching these Rays-Phillies games. Man, what an atmosphere. What an atmosphere in Philadelphia. I mean, obviously, they're one of the best teams in the league, and they got Kyle Schwarber hitting bombs, and all these great players. They play so hard, and it's just the atmosphere is tremendous at that ballpark. And I'm like, man, I'm envious. I'm envious of the Phillies and their fans and what they get and the baseball that they get. And you look around the league, it's just not the same here.
JP, I'm envious of the organization. I'm not envious of the fans. I've been to Philadelphia. I know you have. I would never be able to go there like this. What, are you kidding me? You get shot.
No,
but you know what I would like to do? I'd like to put Stu Sternberg in the batter's box and just, let him have target practice. Am I allowed to say that? Because everybody loves the disdain that I have for this man. Okay.
You want to make some money? Yeah, put him in a dunk tank and let the fans pay to dunk his ass. Are you kidding
Down
me?
here in Florida, they don't have enough.
Stu, there you go.
Stu
People
would
pay a
never
lot
get
of
what
money.
you don't
I
have
know
enough.
I would.
You don't have enough. They don't have enough fans to go there to put him in a dunk tank. Send his ass to Philly. Let him walk around downtown Philly with a Rays uniform on. That's a dunk tank now, JP. Let's call it what it is. Philly would eat him up.
Yes, they
great.
would.
That would be great. That's actually a great idea, Harry.
You like that idea, Pete?
We're not condoning any physical violence, of course.
No,
We would
not
never
at
do
all.
that, but just a little dunk into the water. No big deal.
A
All right,
little
let's,
a little baptism of sorts, you know, of
by the
sorts.
way,
Like, hey,
how dare you wear that shirt?
what do you
How
mean?
dare you wear that Bears shirt like you actually won something this week? You didn't win anything.
They're 1-0.
That was-
What the hell does that mean?
it's
They're
one-
1-0, JP.
That was the gift.
1-0. Of course, it was a gift.
Left-handed shit pass.
It's a top 5 defense.
The hell in the history of football, in the history of the NFL, you don't score an offensive touchdown down 2 scores at halftime. You're 2 in 370, I think it is, and now it's 3 in 372. You don't even score an offensive touchdown, and you win a game, and you act like something.
JP, look, man, we're not acting like anything. All I'm saying is this: 2 things. Don't make me Dennis Green your ass here, okay? Okay. Number 1, don't make me Dennis Green you. 2, it's from a gambling perspective. You're on the do theory.
Yeah.
It was due to happen. You know what? I got to tell you what. Since you did bring that up, I'd like to touch base on that. I don't think Caleb Williams of the Chicago Bears know who his starting center is, because the entire game he looked worse than Donovan Smith. It was a human turnstile. Every single play, JP, every play, it looked like Caleb and his center were going to kiss each other, like face to face.
Right.
I mean, he lost is an understatement. How that kid stood upright, I have no idea. But I'll tell you what I did see, JP. I seen a defense that never quit. I seen the special teams that played out there, you know what. And I seen the heart, and the kid never gave up. He did make a really nice play for the 2-point conversion, and he made a really couple of nice throws. I'm expecting as the season goes on, it's going to get a lot better. But ultimately, this was a coaching problem. The 3rd play to the 8th play of the game, JP, every single play. Let's go downfield. Let's go downfield as he's overthrowing receivers by 20 yards. You know, I mean, he had the jitters, but you know what?
Yeah, he did.
It'll get a little bit better. Hey, you know what? 1-0.
I think it's going to take. I think it's going to take more time than you think, or the Bears fan think. Let me just put it that way. It's going to. You watch the way he played in college. This was my whole point about Jaden Daniels. I think is going to have a much better rookie year, and I bet on him to be the offensive rookie of the year. He's just a much more polished quarterback. Caleb is a freelancer. You know, he's got a lot of Mahomes in him, but he doesn't have a lot of pocket passer in him. He's going to have to learn that part of the game. And he's got all the talent in the world, and he certainly has a great supporting cast, minus the center. But everything else looks decent, right? Is that offensive line good enough?
No, the offensive line is fine. They were going to have problems at center. I'm going to tell you straight up. I don't want to make this a whole Chicago Bear program. But I'm telling you right now, the offensive line's a lot better than what it was. This was strictly coaching. They really wanted to see if they could just open it up and light it up. Look, the bottom line is this. You got a whole stable of running backs back there, and you got 2 Pro Bowl tight ends. Forget about the wide receivers. Hand that ball off, dump it off to your tight ends, hit the guys coming out of the backfields and a couple of crossing patterns. Everything will open up. It was completely a disaster for the way they called that game. And I like Waldron. I think he's going to be a fine OC for this team, but they need to really pump their brakes because he's not Peyton Manning. Okay, not yet. Let him come into his own. I'll tell you what. I had a good week last week, and I never start out the season 4-1 ever. 4-1 is the way we started out. JP against.
Nicely done.
Yep.
Wow. Go ahead, JP.
Dude, I absolutely killed it on the Bucks props bet. I won 4 different props, about $800 on Hard Rock, and it felt almost easy just because a lot of it was Bucky Irving, Jalen McMillan, who got 1 throw and went over on everything that I needed, but should have had 4 touchdowns in the game. So when you know teams like your Buccaneers, you look at some of these over for Godwin, easy. Over for Baker, season wide as well, because the Bucks are so undervalued It's
Oh my
incredible.
God, it's horrible. I mean, and I hate using this, the fake news. I call them the fake pundits across across all the broadcast networks. It's ridiculous the respect that this organization gets, and I
So
don't
make
get
money
it.
on it. Make money on it, people. Yeah.
Yep. You know
Bet
what?
the
I
hell out of it.
told you, I told Peter, I told everybody on every show. When I went up to Jersey, I made a substantial wager, JP. They're giving me 4-1 on my money for the Buccaneers to win this division.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's
4-1. What's everybody in bed with the Atlanta Falcons? They got you. They are exactly who we thought they were, and I'm telling you, and I'll say it again: this team will finish third in the division. Watch.
Are you surprised from the Bucks betting aspects? What do you see? What did you see from the Commanders game? And then what do you see with this Lions game coming up? Back to the scene of the crime here, Harry.
Great question, Pete.
Thank you.
You know, I'm going to tell you exactly what I've seen with the Commanders. I've seen the Commanders play a decent quarter of football. They had a little bit of problems. Still, Tampa Bay suffers with a mobile rookie quarterback. You're going to run for almost, you put up almost 100 yards. But you know what? They bend. They didn't break. And you know what, Pete? That was the biggest problem you and I had. We had some discussions to nauseum regarding this Buccaneers defense. I don't care if they give up 500 yards of defense. Give me 10 points on, you're only going to score 10 points on me. I'm going to win almost every ball game that's out there. And you know what? They played a hell of a game. This is the game that I thought that Tampa Bay was going to struggle with because of the rookie quarterback in mobile. And I said this team would probably start 5-1. I stand to be corrected. This team can go 6-0 to start this season. That's how much I like this Buccaneer football team, even with the injuries in the secondary.
That's it. It's going to be a tough ass this week in Detroit, though. Without Winfield, without Winfield, and maybe looks like Christopher Cole just told us that Zion and Logan are going through warm up. So yeah, they need Zion to answer the bell this week. They need the corners. Without Winfield, without being down a corner, maybe two corners, and can't see. Hopefully, that injury bugs me. His calf injury, re-injured. We need Winfield and we need Cansey to be special for this team to be special this year. So those two injuries bug me.
Since we're talking about Tampa Bay and we're talking a little bit about, handicapping, JP, I'm telling you right now, I watched this Detroit game, not this past game only, but the playoff game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Very similar teams. Detroit tried to get a lot better in their secondary, but they're very young. But they haven't improved that offensive line. Tampa's front seven will get after them. And trust me, their best quarterback is sitting on the bench because they paid the wrong one. Tampa will come up with 2 turnovers in this game if you can find a prop bet in this game, and it will be a shootout, and Tampa wins the game. Don't bother with the points this week. You put them on the money line. I'm telling you, they're getting 7.5. That's how much I like this game. This is my second best pick of the week, JP. Take the Buccaneers on the money line this week. Tampa's still got a little revenge from last year. They were 1 or 2 plays from winning and go to the NFC Championship game. This is unheard of.
If they had Winfield and Cansey, I would say yes. But without those two, I don't know if I'm going to bet it. We'll see.
You know what? Then take the points. Be safe and take the points, because let me tell you something. The team with the last possession is going to win this ball game. I'm thinking something 38-35. It's going to be a high-scoring affair. But trust me, they're going to cough the ball up twice. Jared Goff can't help himself. And Baker, the cupcake maker, is going to be making some great cupcakes in this game. Look for Mike Evans to have a big game.
All right, I'm going to let you wonderful. I see Tampa Bay Ray in the bullpen's going to come in for me. You ready, Ray? You ready? The old man's taking it out to the range here. Got to get saddled up. So
you're getting a right arm going?
Yeah. Well, they hopefully get the swing going today, but we'll see.
Well, brother, I got one more pick for you. I got other ones, but I know you're a betting guy.
Give me one more.
Take Indianapolis at Green Bay. Green Bay's done. Toast.
Jordan
Stick
Love,
a fork in them.
Yeah, Willis sucks.
And play the under.
He's not a pro quarterback, so good luck with that. I'm with you on that. All right, guys, take over. We'll see you.
All right, so you stand by here, Harry. Get out of here, JP. There he goes. And then, there we go. Let's go out to Tampa Bay. Look at that. Now we got the 3 amigos here on the JP Peterson Show with, and I always do intros. So first, I'm going to do Harry's intro.
Oh, Ray.
Opa.
Opa. Boy, it was great talking to him for a few minutes.
Harry,
I like what you were cooking about the cupcake maker, but what's the current line in Detroit? Are they still 3.5, or is it moved over toward Detroit, or is it still? What was the point spread?
3.5. Ray, hurry up. Go get your mortgage money. Bring it over here. The Greeks got something free. It's 7.5 point favorites, Detroit.
Wow. 7.5. So there you go. Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. I'm Peter Blake along with Harry the Greek. Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, best of the Bay in the building with us as JP is out and about. So we'll take you from here. Going back to that, why do you feel so confident, Harry, with this Bucks game? And Ray, you can go ahead and comment on it.
Well, Peter, first of all, please warn JP about that 19-foot gator there on the 7th hole, I think is what the long by you guys said there, because, you know, those gators don't like those Seminoles when they're patrolling in the swamp.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
JP beat the brakes off of that gator with a switch. Have you seen JP?
I know, man. He went to Bay Area Modern Medical for all his medical needs. Right
got
there.
Got that tush, that Brazilian butt lift. I like it.
No, you definitely didn't do that at all. Shut up and be quiet. Yes.
Tell you what, I'm on a pitch count. I'd love to give out these picks. Tampa Bay Ray, he's not only a left-handed reliever, but he's a right-handed reliever, and he's a hell of a catcher. Wait a minute. It's not 10 o'clock, so I can't say that.
No, you can't. You cannot say that. No.
But I appreciate it.
Now, Ray, roll your window down, okay, and give me your license. Can you do that?
Are we going political again, Perry? Give us these picks you're talking about.
Let's not.
These picks. Miami at Buffalo. I'm sorry. I like the Miami Dolphins -2 against the Buffalo Bills. Make sure it's a really good game. Indianapolis, love them. Lay the 2 points at Green Bay. Dallas and New Orleans. Dallas absolutely put an ass whooping on Cleveland. Don't expect anything different. New Orleans is going down big. Don't be afraid to lay the wood. The Jets at Tennessee. Hey, everybody liked that 140-year-old quarterback? I did. It was his first game back. Let me tell you something. Aaron Rodgers still got a lot in the tank. I can't believe I said that.
That's a good call because that Jets defense and the Titans without Derrick Henry look like a lost cause as Will Levis is trying to find his butt from a hole in the ground. I would definitely like that play.
How many
Jets,
points are scored?
Jets -3. San Francisco at Minnesota. Minnesota, smoke and mirrors, baby. They beat up on a bad Giants team. That was my one loss. San Francisco will win this game by more than 5. Tampa Bay, can't tell you enough about it. If you got the cojones, you play them on the money line. Don't even bother with the points. Pittsburgh at Denver. Justin Field led Pittsburgh Steelers over at Denver. Maybe it won't take 6 field goals. I got 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground for Justin. Lay the wood at -2. Atlanta at Philly. Hey, 0-2, baby. 0-2 for the Falcons. Take Philly -7.
How many tackles does Devin White get this game? That would be my what do you call it? My exotic pick.
Hold on. People are going to call me crazy, but this is why I'm the Greek, and this is why you make a lot of money off my picks. I'm not trying to be too conceited here, but man, look, 74% last year. It's getting hot in here.
Wow.
Over 70% for 4 straight years since I've joined these two goobers. You ready? Take Carolina at home against the Chargers plus the 6 points. They are going to play a much better football game. And you know what? That puts Atlanta in what place? If that happens, hang on. What place?
Fourth place, last place, where they belong. Going back to Atlanta here, and I want to talk to Ray about this and talk to you about it also, Harry. Are you surprised how bad Kirk Cousins looked because the mobility wasn't there?
Might as well ask Ray this question because I've already talked about this 100 times on both of these shows.
Yep. Let's go out to Ray. Are you surprised that this offense looks so bad with all the hype about Kirk Cousins coming in, big time contract, $180 million, the plethora of weapons they had on that offense? Are you surprised they looked so bad, Ray? And Ray's muted.
Hey, Ray, your mic is muted. There you go, Ray. You got to push the button.
It's
There
amazing.
you go. I'm not surprised. I'm not sold on Atlanta not being that good. Don't forget, Arthur Smith was the coordinator on the Pittsburgh sideline. So if there were any sins to be taken advantage of, he kind of knew about it. But we saw Kirk Cousins, and when the Bucs went into Minnesota last 2023 in Week 1 and made him dance and put him on the ground, the only way to beat him, pocket passer, is to put that pressure. I don't know if they get the pressure on Atlanta again. So if offensive line can hold up, he does have some weapons to find. But I like what Harry's saying, because put them 1 or 2 games back at the Bucs early, and they're going to be there the entire season.
Because Cousins threw 2 interceptions last week versus the Steelers, good prop bet could be multiple turnovers once again versus a Philadelphia Eagle defense that could be just as talented or more. Okay. All right. He's shaking his head yes.
I can't see him. Did he say what he said? I can't hear. No,
I said yes. You know what? You got to forget about. Hey, listen, I hate proposition bets, but if you want prop bets, look for 2 turnovers or more from Jared Goff in this weekend. That's it. Look, man, I got to bounce. This has been an absolute blast. Thank you so much. I have to get back to my normal 9 to 5 where I actually make some cash.
Okay.
So I got to take care. But I really appreciate you having me on the JP Peterson show along with Tampa Bay Ray. You, Pete. You're a hungry Howie's guy, so I don't know what else.
Right, you're going to talk about you. You did definitely talk about my family coming in, because guess what? I got no family coming in, so there you go. I got
Papa John's
the background. He says,
"He's Harry."
Double deuces. Let me give it to you. Let me give you the Tyreek Hill thing. Hey, Tyreek, you got to get out of the car when you're told to get out, or roll down your window. That's all I'm going to say. I got to go.
All right, see you. Get out.
That guy. And I hate him because he gives that Atlanta pick or the Carolina pick, and I always hate him because he does always throw that weird one in there, but then those weird ones usually hit, and that's what puts him ahead of the game. So that's one I'm going to keep an eye on for that. The Carolina Panthers to cover the spread. Wow.
Yeah, and Carolina looked absolutely god-awful last week with, of course, former Bucs offensive coordinator Dave Canales. So I want to go out to some of these comments because we didn't get a chance to read some of them here. We got Tampa Bay Ray. Best of the Bay. Let's see here. I read this from James. This is from about USF, and then you talked about this. I want you to chime in on it. The elephant in the room is, why did Golish kick a field goal down 8 with 6 minutes and 47 seconds remaining? I don't care if they don't make it. Bama would have been backed up. No way they score. JP kind of feels the same way. Why not go for it at that point? Put your defense in that position. They've already caused 3 turnovers. Where do you lie on this situation, Ray?
The irony is it takes us right back to Matt LaFleur, the Packers, in the NFC Championship game in 2020. But my point is that we saw right after that, even that field goal made, that Bulls team fell apart because they had stood up against a behemoth, a Goliath, David and Goliath all night, and you could see the gas was running out. I pros that if they already tried 3 and in from the short inside the 20 or inside the 10, they didn't get it the 3 times. I pose that not getting it, turning it over on downs meant more momentum-wise for Alabama. It was Golesh's Hail Mary pass. If they make it, which they did, hope they can hold on, but then shortly thereafter, the entire floor fell out. I like the field goal there because positivity, after they couldn't get it in from inside the 10, means at least they don't walk away empty-handed. The psychological game Alex Golesh was playing was still going on, that chess game.
All right, let's go out to Lonnie Wilkins there. JP, I tweeted your email. The Rays sent out about next season, lots 6 and 7 will be closed due to construction. As I hear my dog in the background, shut up, Alex. He's excited about that construction. And finally, I think there's a lot of Rays fans out there, yes, Alex, that are excited about finally putting shovels in the ground there and talking about construction of a new stadium. Let's see here. Christopher Cole says, ESPN saying that the Cowboys winning Super Bowl after 1 game, shaking my head. I mean, it's what they do. It's their playbook. And I know Tim, who does a great job, Fan Stream with JP, all his great shows. He's a big-time Cowboy fan. But you have to ask him, even he doesn't believe at this point that the Cowboys are going to win a Super Bowl after 1 game. It's what they do in the regular season. Now, what can they do in the postseason that makes them different? Let's go out to Lisi here. Saying RIP to legend James Earl Jones. Thanks a lot for the comment.
Sandlot, too. You mentioned that, but you're talking about Dream of Fields or Field of Dreams, but the Sandlot, too. When they get that ball and he's got the one, it's signed by me and Babe Ruth, and what that meant in that movie, how they made that movie up.
He said it's so good. George? You mean George?
George? You mean George? Yes.
I believe that he is that character. That's how great he was. And then, of course, Coming to America. Who doesn't like Coming to America? I like Coming to America too, but the original is always the best. $20 per person. Sign me up for anything that price now for sports. Absolutely. We talked about what Rick had to say with Stu. Let's go out to Christopher Cole. Speaking of baseball, the Cubs got the best Japanese pitcher, and they're on fire, but it's a little too late. We talked about this story here. Titans choked the game away. Zion and Logan is going through warm-ups, so that
and
could
Funderburk. Don't forget Funderburk. We've talked about him, the Appalachian State undrafted free agent. You're going to hear his name this week because he's going to be a great depth and support piece for that defense in that back end.
Absolutely. Let's go out. Nathan says Bucks had an issue with Daniels because of Hall and Cansey didn't play. Exactly. And look, if that is the only downside about that game and there wasn't much, and even the great TJ Reeves, the media icon from the Buccaneer Radio Network, gave his take at the end of the game, which, by the way, tune in before and after, especially on the field there with TJ Reeves, JP Peterson, Jason Allen was on. That's the only downside you could take from that game is because the Bucs lost containment. But besides that, I felt like they got after Daniels. They could have caused some turnovers there. He didn't throw from the pocket, didn't have a lot of time. They shut down the running game. They shut down McLaren. So, yeah, I mean, Daniels is talented enough. Of course, you're going to have to contain a mobile quarterback. Mobile quarterbacks coming into the league. But if that's the only downside about it, like TJ said, you'll take it. And especially it helps with Hall and Cansey not playing in the game, especially Cansey.
And I went back and watched the game again. You're right. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka was a man on a mission, but it turns out that Jason Light drafting a Logan Hall, Sac Avenue, and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and having the depth and the pieces and the yaya and bringing it, and even with Kalijah Cansey still kind of going to have another start like last year and take it a little bit slow out of the gates. Kind of like Mike Evans and the hamstrings used to always be. I don't want to go there. What I'm saying is that you're seeing it that he actually has a plan. That's why we go back to in the signing in the summer of the player whose name we don't mention who didn't want to come here, and they get that signing that bonus back is like I don't think that was a problem for this Buccaneer team. It was someone else come in and compete. He wasn't going to make this team. He made the best decision to stay away. Of course, we know who I'm talking about.
Absolutely. We'll read this comment and we'll get out of here. James says, Harry the Greek makes my 12 wins sound sane. Absolutely. And Gary says, go Canes. Thanks a lot for all of you tuning in today to the JP Peterson Show. For Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy, Harry the Greek, of course, the great JP Peterson, and all the great guests. We will be back tomorrow here from 10 a.m. to 12 noon talking Tampa Bay sports here, right here on all these platforms. And
watch out for that Gator, JP. Watch out for that Gator. You know how those Gators get.
Absolutely. Watch out for the Gator and watch out for the evolution of Sports Talk Television, the Sports Web, live tonight at 9 o'clock on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We will see you soon here on the JP Peterson Show.